Good morning, CrossFit Linchpin. My apologies. I'm a little bit under the weather. It's like my voice sounds a little weird, and my right ear is clogged up. Got a sore throat, so I think it's just that season. I travel a lot. I'm in airports a lot. I'm in airplanes a lot, and something got me a little bit sick. So it is what it is. I will continue to train intelligently and just get it out of my system eventually. Today's video, as always, is intended to be a quick one, but we'll see what happens. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to throw them out there, and I'll do my best to circle back and see what's on everybody's mind. But I've had some interactions, let's call them that, interactions recently that have, how to say this, that have just made me once again circle back to the proper way, in my humble opinion, to conduct oneself, both personally and professionally, and the unprofessional way to conduct oneself. And a while ago, I had written something just real quick off the cuff after having some other less than ideal interaction and posted it on Instagram. And I found it, and this was from, when was this? 2017 is when January 2017 is when I posted this on Instagram. And I think we had to hire somebody maybe to do some contract work on our house. And, it just didn't go how it should. Nobody was forthright with communication. There was a high level of frustration. And it just didn't have to be that way. Didn't have to be that way. And sadly, I don't want to be cynical. I am from New England, but I am so cynical by nature. It can just seem like a lot of businesses are like that these days, whether it's the person working on your car, contractor working on your house, whatever it is. Things just don't seem to go how they were promised, You go to the restaurant, and the burger that you're served does not look like the burger that you saw on the TV commercial. There's a little deception there. People aren't just authentic and forthright. So this is what I wrote a while ago. I wrote, how to trick people into believing that you are amazing at what you do. Number one, this is going to be a shocker. Ready? Number one, do what you commit to doing. I mean, right there, you've established yourself as a superhero. Do what you commit to doing. Basically, do what you say you're going to do. That's step one. Step two, perform to the level that you promised or better. Again, we're not so far, 1 and 2, we're not doing anything too crazy, right? We've decided that we're going to do what we said that we're going to do, and we're going to follow through with it. That's basically what 1 and 2 say. Number 3, complete it within the agreed upon timeline. Holy cow. Not too much to ask also, right? But also think, how infrequently do these first 3 just not happen these days? Do what you commit to, perform to the level promised or better, and complete it within the agreed upon timeline. That's 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, if things change, inform others with as much notice as possible. Again, we're not splitting atoms, but how frequently does that get blown off? And communication can just be so poor, right? Hey, 1, 2, and 3 mean you're going to do what you said you're going to do, to the level that you said, and to the timeline. But things do happen, right? Deliveries get missed. I mean, just whatever it is, things can get a little screwy. So, hey, number 4 takes that into account, and it just says, if you get the idea that things are going to go sideways or get delayed, don't keep it to yourself. Inform all the other parties with as much notice as possible so that those other parties can make appropriate decisions to make things better. Number 5, ask for feedback or input before, during, and after the project. Again, just circling back to communication. When people stop communicating, it's easy to assume the worst. If there's a nice, not overwhelming, but a nice, appropriate flow of logical interaction before, during, and then once the project's done, circle back as to how, what were your thoughts and feelings on it. You probably have a high level of comfort with this individual. Things are going to go good. You'll probably use their services again, and you'll probably recommend them to others. And finally, number 6, realize that you, as an individual, are not amazing. It is your team that makes you look amazing. So take good care of your team. So that's it. Quick recap. Number 1, do what you commit to. Number 2, perform to the level promised or better. Number 3, complete it with the agreed upon timeline. Number 4, if things change, inform others with as much notice as possible. Number 5, ask for feedback before, during, and after the project. And number 6, realize that you are not amazing. It is your team that makes you look amazing. And I'm sure most people are like, yeah, that's incredibly common sense. You know what's amazing about that list is none of that is about going 300% above and beyond. Not at all. It is literally just what you would assume are the basics. This is what I told you that I would do, to the level that I said that I would do it, to the timeline that we agreed upon, and then you execute that. And again, hate to be cynical, but these days in 2020, if somebody did that, which you would think would be the baseline level of just competency, that is not the baseline level of competency these days. This person is a rock star superhero that you would brag about their services to anybody who would listen. That's a sad state of affairs. But the good news is, it's not that hard to be a superhero in 2020 if you just are a person of your word and you execute what you said that you would do. You are the top tier, most sought after individual in your field, which is crazy. And when I posted that on Instagram back in January 2017, what was I going to say? There's probably a couple other things that I could have looped on there, but that was just what was on my mind in the second. So some other things I would say just in general, as just a regular human being, just on a daily basis, it's a good day. It's a good idea to be on time, right? You got a meeting or a phone call with somebody, be on time. And on time is probably a few minutes early, and that's probably what I would consider on time. And then whatever it happens to be prepared when you show up. Also just a relatively good thing to be. Classic leadership 101 would be, if you do have a team, or whatever it happens to be at work, praise in public, and you punish in private. And that's, I think, good stuff for most people to do that some people forget these days as well. And if you are in a position of management or leadership, be truly open-minded to hearing ideas from your team, from the lowest person on the ladder to the highest person on the ladder. Everybody should feel comfortable and competent expressing a viewpoint that maybe isn't even in line with what you're saying, but maybe is a different way to do something, and they shouldn't feel threatened by bringing that up. And then as the leader or manager, you hear all those opinions out, and ideally with an unbiased and open mind, sift through them, because maybe you did hear something better from somebody that is far below you on the ladder. But that's great. Now you know a better way to do business. And then whatever decision is made, once the leader makes the decision, the team drives forward aggressively with that decision. Even if their decision was shot down or whatnot, at least it was heard, and now a decision has been made, and we move forward and we execute that plan. Of course, with the understanding that very, very, very few decisions require such immediate, have to make a decision right now because the car is about to hit the guardrail kind of situation. Most things you have the luxury and opportunity to hear everybody out, think everything over for a while, and then come back with whatever the best course of action will be. So that's about that. Hopefully that just rings true. Let's see. T-Gun 1985 Nice minimal expectations. True, I mean, they should be considered, I would agree, just minimal expectation. Workout suggestions where I need to rest shoulders, but something other than running. Rest shoulders, something other than running. You've got good old air squats, lunges, basically anything kind of below parallel might be a good way to do it. And then I'm not sure if your shoulders need to rest in every single solitary direction, both, pressing away from you in like a bench press or a pull-up, pressing overhead in like a push press or push jerk, pulling from overhead in like a pull-up or ring muscle-up, pulling towards you in like a rower or a ring row. So maybe some of those directions you don't need to rest your shoulders, and some you need to rest others. So if some of those you can still use, then you can definitely do some other deals as well there. I thought there was one more question or comment that Robert Travis, sounds like common sense, and yes, I realize that common sense is not common. Yep, I know it. Sad but true. But anyway, that's how to trick people into thinking that you're absolutely amazing, when in all honesty, you're just doing what you would hope everybody would do. So that's it. Have a great day. Be a person of your word. Do what you say that you will do. And if things are going to change, just let people know. And they will appreciate that. So that's it. Have a great day. And we'll talk later.